to the new vintage grill tonight. I like the energy from a big group of people getting together, eating, drinking, sharing, laughing, having a good time. I'm making an onion marinated sirloin steak that I'll grill. This is completely different than the dry glazed pork tenderloin. And then I have the grilled asparagus with the creamy garlic almond sauce. And right now I'm getting the display dishes ready so I can take them with me to the presentation. I've got about 3 cups of onions here, just roughly chopped, just to help it puree more finely. 3 cloves of garlic. Big splash of white wine vinegar, just to thin the marinade out a little. Couple dollops of Dijon mustard. Whole lot of black pepper. To puree this as finely as I can. Just a drizzle of olive oil. And that's it. The marinade is done. Pureeing the onions. Woo! Oh yeah. Well, putting it in the food processor saved my eyes chopping it by hand. This is about maximum onion impact on the surface of the steak. I've got my sirloin steak here. Definitely not for one person. This is a 3-pound steak, so it'll feed really 6 people. I want to slather this steak with the onion marinade. Now, the longer I let this steak sit, the more onion flavor it'll take in. So I can let it sit for a day, but even half an hour to an hour will get that onion flavor on there. I'll get this in the fridge. So I'll take this outside to grill, along with the asparagus and the pork tenderloin, right after I get the strawberry salsa done. These strawberries are absolutely gorgeous. To trim it, I just barely go under the stem and pull it off. And I'll just dice these up. About 2 cups worth. The idea of serving strawberries with a steak, I think is a little unexpected, but using fruit with a rich meat is really quite traditional. The balance of the sweetness and the acidity in the berries will match nicely with the richness of the meat. With ripe strawberries in season, by adding a bit of salt and a bit of sugar, the juices will come out. In fact, this is called macerating, drawing out those liquids and softening the fruit a bit. And then I'll add a little chopped green onion to this. The green onion is mostly for color. So it's just sat for about 15 minutes, and look at the juices that have come off the berries. There's only a tablespoon or 2 worth of juice, but it is packed with sort of strawberry nectar. So to concentrate their essence, I'll reduce it with a little white balsamic vinegar, which is a little milder than regular dark balsamic, but the white balsamic has that fruity character that highlights the strawberries. And I want to reduce this down to just about a tablespoon of liquid. I'll chop up a little fresh tarragon to add to the salsa. Just a pinch of chili flake, up to a 1/4 teaspoon is fine. Look at how the juice is reduced with the vinegar to a glaze. It's time to get grilling. Alright, I can grill all 3 of my recipes at once because I have half the grill preheated to medium, so that's great for the sirloin and the pork, and I have this portion of the grill fired up on high heat just to quickly char the asparagus. I'm going to get the pork on first. It's dry right now, but in just a moment it'll start melting into a glaze. The sirloin, cooking it to a nice medium will be perfect, and I wouldn't want to cook it further than that anyhow. So while this starts to sear on one side, I'll just quickly char the asparagus over here on high heat. Just roll them back and forth. And with the asparagus, since it's blanched, the effect is just for the charring and that grilled flavor. Oh yeah, the glaze, the dry glaze is going from dry to wet and sticky now. But having the pork and the beef on medium heat is the key so that I don't burn it. It's time to flip. About 8 minutes on each side. Time to flip the sirloin. I'm impressed. That'll make for a beautiful presentation plate. Yum!